Welcome, Tar Heel fans. Any questions or anything from the viewers? Had some technical difficulties, but we got back right here for this Duke game. Kind of to get it started, a valiant effort by the Tar Heels, but just UNC just Duke was too much. Cam Boozer kind of took control of the game, 26, 15, 5 assists. Um, he was a tough cover. Visar and Stevenson did all they could do, man. I mean, each game I get more and more impressed by Boozer. But hey, look, we started off well. We're in it the first half. We're down by 12 the first half at our place, down by 4 in Duke. So the 16 run killed us. I think that is what doomed the Tar Heels. They couldn't make a shot. And when you don't accept, as an offensive player, when you don't accept the defensive pressure and you just relent and take bad shots, man, that's kind of when things get a little wonky, things get a little weird. You start missing. And I think the Tar Heels panicked. They panicked. Shots weren't going in. You're not on the road. You don't want to get blown out of the water. Obviously double-digit favorites at Duke. And, so it's tough. And also ask any questions you want in the comment box. I'll try to answer as much as I can. Derek Dixon, I mean, played well, man. First game in Cameron. Hit some big shots down the stretch early on, and then even at the end didn't give up. Hit some really big shots for us as well. I liken this to my year when Austin Rivers hits the buzzer beater. We were, I think, number 1 or number 2 team in the country. We were up late in that game, and he hits the buzzer beater. We go into Duke and we beat them by 20. I could see this being similar. I saw this being a similar spot for Duke. They were pissed off. Duke was mad. They knew they should have probably won the game at Carolina. They had them at their place. So, a 8-minute stretch down in the second half where the Tar Heels let them go on that 16-0 run. I mean, this was a ball game, right? I mean, this was a ball game, and that's what Duke does. Sarr and those guys on the perimeter. They didn't have Foster, which I thought helped. It's going to be interesting to see the big fella and if the Foster, what's going to happen with those two guys. And so now we move on to the ACC tournament. Obviously, the Duke game is behind us. No Caleb Wilson, which for me, when I played, I don't even remember practicing in March, let alone dunking. And I'll give you kind of an example. Do you know how hard Caleb Wilson has dunked all year and hasn't broken his thumb? So, that's why this late in the season, usually coaches don't really practice like that. We had something called run and shoot. You go in there in your sweats, you get up and down, you condition, you do what you need to do, you get some shots up, run through some plays, walk through, and you go to the locker room, because I think that was Coach Williams' biggest fear, like guys coming down the stretch, freak accidents, freak injuries. That's why he hated the ACC tournament, because, right, you got this number 1 team and you all year you fought all year to be in this position. I get hurt in the ACC tournament. Kendall goes down. Now you've put yourself in a bad position after you've put all this sweat equity in, and that's what's going on with the Wilson situation, right? Like, seeing what he's done, his highlights, and what he's done in the Carolina uniform is something that I don't think we've seen. Definitely not recently. I mean, probably going to be the highest draft pick since Harrison, which was 14, 15 years ago, a decade ago. So, light at the end of the tunnel. But this team is capable of coming down the stretch. I think there'll be a 5 or 6 seed. And potentially if they could get Duke the grudge match because they're on their side of the bracket, maybe they can shore up that 5 seed position and potentially win some games. Seth Trimble, right? Dixon, Bogovac. I mean, I think that front court could probably match up with most teams. I'm not saying beat most teams, but I feel good about that starting 5 and Zayden High. I mean, he's proven more than I think anyone else could have ever proven, right? Coming into the game and having an impact, which we did not expect. So it would have been exciting to see Zayden High coming off the bench behind Stevenson and Visar and Wilson. I mean, it sucks because now there is no Wilson. He'll be a top 5 draft pick. He'll be gone. And so coming up, if you look at the ACC tournament bracket, let's see here. And if you got any questions, like I said, just ask away in the comments. I can answer all of them. Anything you guys want me to talk about, I can hit on. So the full bracket has been announced as of 11 minutes ago. So Tuesday. So Carolina's going to get quarterfinals Wednesday. We'll get versus the Wednesday 9:30 p.m. winner. So don't know who we're going to play yet, but it's going to be between Clemson and Virginia Tech, Wake Forest winner, and then Clemson. So it'll probably be Clemson, Virginia Tech. I mean, it'll probably be Clemson or Virginia Tech if I had my best guess, but who knows? Not the best draw. Those are 2 really good teams and 2 teams that, I mean, Virginia Tech played Virginia to the buzzer today. And as we know, Clemson is underachieved, but also a really good team. Then probably going to have to play Duke again. So can't run from it. We're going to have to beat Duke to get to our dreams and goals of the ACC championship, and that's what it's going to be. But right now, sitting at a 5 seed, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that season. And, so that's how we're going to play it. Analysis of the bench per se. Let's Jonathan Powell, 0-4, 0-1. It's tough playing in Cameron, man. Look, first time in there. Jaden Young, Kyan Evans, right? Like, it's tough. It looks like Coach Davis almost went to a 6-man rotation, playing all his guys. Luka, who's been hot lately, credit to Duke. Duke was on him today. They weren't letting him get to come, walk-in threes. They threw bodies on him. They had Sarr on him. And then, Seth, 0-3, 5-11. Decent game. 6 assists. But, look, I can tell you right now, Cameron's one of the toughest places to play in. Valiant effort without their best player. Duke went on a 16-0 run. The rest was history. So, credit to them. What do I think of the ceiling of this team is an NBA and NCAA tournament? I think this team could be a second weekend team. Sweet 16, Elite 8. I think this team could be a second weekend team. The analytics don't love us, but this team has actually played better defense without Caleb Wilson. It's weird how that works, but I think it's more of a situation to where we know there's a margin. There's less margin for error, so we need to defend at a higher level. And, if there's one thing that Caleb may have struggled with is perimeter defense, right? A lot of people driving, a lot of guys kind of getting drives on him and breaking down the defense. Stevenson's more of an effective perimeter defender, but I think that's just because of age, not necessarily because of ability. Caleb's going to learn, what he needs, what he can do, how he, how to guard at the next level. I'm excited to see what he does. There were moments of greatness. Well, I don't know if you're talking about the game or the weekend or for Caleb. I mean, I saw a video and people were like, listen, if there wasn't the best freshman class in the history of college basketball, does Caleb go number 1? Is he a number 1 guy? I mean, I think that's just debatable. He's solidly planted in the top 5. I mean, you've got DeBonza leading the league, college basketball in scoring. You've got Peterson, obviously super talented, super skilled, scoring 20 points, almost like he's banged up, scoring, averaging 20 points a game. Obviously, you've got Boozer, who I just get more and more impressed with every game. I mean, I don't know why people don't think he's going to be effective at the next level. He's going to be really good. Someone's going to benefit well from getting him, especially a winning player that can contribute to winning. And then you have Caleb Wilson. Like, let's think about last year's draft. Caleb Wilson, probably Cooper Flag, Caleb Wilson 1-2. The year before that, does he go 1 or 2, depending on who was at the 1 or 2 spot. So yeah, I feel for Caleb too, because playing in that game, I mean, I had one bad experience, but I remember it, playing in that game and playing in Cameron. It's one of those things why you go to Carolina, playing in that game. I mean, you saw the celebrities understand CP3, the comedian professor, I don't know his name, that went to Duke. Sean McVay, like what college game is, grabbing those type of celebrities kind of at the game. So all in all, man, tough game for Carolina. Got to get back on the horse in Charlotte next week. Next Thursday, they'll have a couple of days of rest, and then they're going to have probably Virginia Tech or Clemson, and then they're going to have to play Duke. So they'll have a chance to redeem themselves in Charlotte. As we know, Duke takes the ACC tournament serious. I believe they don't hang up regular season banners there. So this is going to be a big deal for them. They're going to come to play hard. The Caleb Foster injury and the injury to the big fella, I don't want to butcher his last name, Patrick. That could affect Duke down the stretch. That could give us an advantage and have us, in for a nice little grudge match in Charlotte. I'm sure the fans will love to see that. And, so anything else? Anybody got any questions, any observations tonight? Let's see here. We got anything else we got going on here? Let's see where this puts. I mean, folks, listen, Duke is a plus 40.62 net rating. That's the highest KenPom rating in the history of KenPom. So everybody just relax. Duke is a tough team to beat. I don't think we should be running to the hills. I think Carolina's plenty good. Right now, Carolina's 28th on KenPom, plus 21, good rating. And yeah, so I'm going to sign off. I'm in Syracuse. I actually did the Syracuse-Pitt game today. So got to see that. Pitt pulls out an overtime win to get them into the ACC tournament. So I think that is pretty cool, man. They were playing for their tournament lives, potentially their coaches' lives, both teams today. And so overtime was only fitting. And they can make a run. So, Syracuse is super, super talented. Super talented. Don't know why their season has kind of went off the rails, but they could beat anyone in the tournament too if the right things happen. So I do think we did lasting wellness. I think we did the best we could. Like I said, 16-0 run that killed us, torpedoed us, but Duke's defense shut us down. We had 12 points, I think, with 4 or 5 minutes left in the half. I don't think like I said before, I don't think as a team, as a squad, as a unit, I think we gave in to the defensive pressure, and we started shooting shots that were easy, that weren't hard, and we didn't put the pressure on the defense to defend multiple sides of the floor, and that's what Duke does, right? They are I believe, number one defense in the country. Yeah, number one defense in the country, number 4 offense in the country. So margin for error without your NBA draft pick very low. And tonight, that's what we showed. The margin was very low. 4-point game at halftime. Got down to 1. Duke hits 2 threes in a row, gets up 7. That goes to the 16-0 run. That's the ball game. So signing off here, Tar Heel 24/7. I'm trying to find I'm new to this, so guys, we're gonna start trying to do this, especially after these UNC losses. Trying to get guys get live and just see kind of what we can do per se and talk about it, and we can talk it out and just hey, look, man, it's gonna be okay. I think Coach Davis overall this year, for what he's dealt with injuries with 2 of his best players, top 4 double bye in the ACC, I think he did plenty enough to show his effectiveness and show that this program is still one of the premier programs in the country. And even with the revenue share coming in next year, I think that's going to change college basketball too. It'll even the playing field a little more. A lot of teams paying a lot of money. Carolina did as well, but I am in agreement for a little bit of a more even playing field. Money can't buy everything, and teams are seeing that as well. Some teams paid a lot of money and didn't win any games. I think Carolina had a good balance of paying the right people, especially with Visar. I think that was a big get of the portal. If he wasn't, I think he was the number 1 guy in the portal. So that's good for us. But Lasting Wellness, I appreciate the love. I love this team. We love this team. Right now, hey, look, it's win or go home. ACC tournament next week, and then we got the big dance. So for the folks at home, I will be in studio at CBS HQ for the selection show and the next weekend. Be sure to tune into that. I'll be with Matt Norlander, Avery Johnson. And also, we'll have a Duke recap this week on Tuesday. Releasing that evening. I got an early flight, 5:50 in the morning. Don't forget to set your clocks. I think they go forward today, spring forward today. And signing off, Tar Heel 24/7. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in a couple of days.